Yenshe now draw Emma Kwaba, Ember, Yenum, Kasiebo, so JD TV, na face JD Radio, so a brass Sam in summer or some for a crunche gunkata, so na Kokuyo Podias or mental so, some bedding with Chame and Fire Mamma you bring, and some bedia quoting AB NSM. Coalition of unemployed nurses for the Sebabe to jam, your muchem and some of the more so Sam. Ghana Pomodin Ashiano are employing midwife na face nurses Pem Ahensiano, Omuchema, Yerodo Sam into one better Sansemino, Umbungu, Yata, some of the one do same, Bebena, Eddie Atu Jam. And Pepe Meroka said, the Vice President, His Excellency Nana Genopokwa Jiman, General Pokwa Jiman, Eddie Sembia to Jam. Yaminoka said, the order Apaso, and Cronia Atu, Kamumu, Agab. I was a former fan saying President, Vice President, His Excellency J. Nana Opoku Ajima in Roland, Edin Sebia to Jam, Yamanoka said, the Piamanoka said, idea or the air Ahuma Achemum, Yanadia Wada Aya Basis, who do be na every year, which is a bit me one, and my air more personal faces, Nipo Muya Kainano, Motimi and your cat, it's my bone, Piamanoka said, I hold you up the year I had yet. Cast na yade omo timi di be pimo o man ga nuti abo makunyaba etimi eja ne na so me no kase wako pimo e wo mracha be fesu so mracha be fo no ene eye de obo nyu me kwa wodo na edi nkomo nya ni se moni so wo bra masan so akohie mu e wo mracha be fie no omo nsu ade hu na no omo de ato eye ye Kasiebo yu enim sa so de wako pimo e wo drobo e na fesu ni pata mu so me no kase praise form edi hwehwe mu mapa e koso ya omo twem she eye tutu asem be e koso e wo drobo traditional council ntiti ono mahimfi hono no omo de yenhwehwe mu mapa e koso me timi aboam o machi eye mpabone for omo de sanya mrese wo piemom awo mamponti e wo asante mantam so mamponti Korea new site home and am no kase die nipa bia sambre die me no kase de oyira ye bosu ka krani no ayade mokoko no mko hu na tim keja wato nanano mo e wo ensedu nse wo do bebre na e na kan wa koku Yopoo medi ho chia me sima bia san kan me de baba be so no. Yandas na fe Kasiebo no nchemu anka say ni coalition of unposted nurses and midwives for Edin Sebia betudwe yo muchemu sem ananse de kopie mu apomden asoyefo mu nkrata mu amuchemu am ayade a aban no aposti nipa be ye mpema hensia mecha 6000 nurses and midwives ewo omanga no yo muchemu say in fact ensem na mbonten de ayade enye no krakra ne sentinum wo beti san seminar na ayade mu mpangum na ayade muchemu sem efi afi 2021 ba 2026 dm nipa be ye 70,000 ya che so mako school mo wiem ya mo ya qualified graduate ya che so mo license so mo kita mo license ya mo di mo se so mo practice health no ayade mu chem se aban no free sabre na kopem sabre de anya de am o mo post o mo ya mo chem titifie ya mo chem se ayade akuche mo paye ni sent no ebe yanka ban no onti na ensiem ya mo chem se wo benam abonte so ede in hudoradan sematu dwasem aban no aposti nipa hodo bebre na e wapomden asoye mu ne de da chese ye ntro e na wutwa ne sentro mo president Chris Asamwa Boateng de nsembia to ye ochem se wo beti sansem bia no mumbongu esanse aban no on posti nipa 60,000 na 6,000 biara e wo apomden adwumaye ne mu nti no wo beti sansem ina no muntu gwa chese mo nya brepa yam omode oye chechechechi ahye so sei e na omo president Chris Asamwa Boateng e de to ye nsem anim
efie idol no na say etifia yen ya hwini nti no imubu a ye private hospitals no na adwen say at least skills kaka na ewo no ye be practice na ye say akayensa no kaka because na minyo isi kan no next na ye skill job hand skill job nti say one to so an ye no nyanimu a e be fi unsa that na fi over 5 years nso nti emu be private hospitals no na ye say eja sikafia bi no me de maye enso e be fa ni saa but government ni ba out be ka say obefa 2021 year group no ya bosses ni bebre na omote ye no omuni se nche bia ye beko enti omo no mo ntwen ma wonko won fa resignation embansa so ombe replace ye ti bebre na comment bebre ayi free ye nkrofo no ba ni say omo bosses no ali omo off nti omuni adwuma bia meanwhile we are waiting
The payatin in Kane, Chris, Asamo Boatin, Ono, and Eda, coalition of unemployed nurses, now face midwife association, and so as also to us, with them. Sabredo, they said to a Ministry of Health and himself, Nadaroma, Omon Sharomon Bona face, Omo Mutiti and Omutim from a dream, the Timabua, almost in Nisiadun and I say, into Tiam Kwaji, I was kum, the Timabua, Motim de Dijuma, no Metima Buama, Ayarisa, et Major Nasuma Pam, our my Ghana, Hadmi, no Biaso, Ayan, and one Tom, a banner upon the same one, opening at the same say at 2 yenim.
People have gotten the slots, but we are running 2021 year group. We are a total of 18,000. The whole 2021 cohort, we are a total of 18,000. And initially, last month, the government came out to say they are recruiting about 16,000 to 21,000. He said it on one of the TV stations that they are recruiting about 16,000 to 21,000 health professionals. And later on, we realized that they issued another communique stating that they are recruiting about 8,000 out of the 16,000. And then because they have gotten clearance for the 8,000, and out of this 8,000, they are allocating about 6,500 to nurses and midwives of the 2021 cohort. Meanwhile, we are about 18,000 in total. So they allocated that number to the nurses and midwives, and according to their data, they have about 6,200 who got slots. That's from their recent press conference. And we are actually also collecting some data. And so far, we have, the numbers are not a lot. We have about 3,800 data that we have collected. And out of this, over 90% are saying they didn't get slots. So we are asking ourselves that, so which people in the country actually had that slot that
the Payatin Kenya president at the coalition of nurses na face midwife association which are unpaid and as unemployed nurses and midwife association president Boatin and Yakotia. Sabraminoka said the vice president his excellency Jena Opoku Ajima at the apostle Etra Human Pimpin Kakajo Yamanoka said the Yadomapa new buses 100 and also her Eddie send a bit to my face so traffic na face omo munyaka and found come baby or some do etimi aboa masa challenges yo mu famina no etimi aso atem na embra omo kasa e wo bra omo de ceremony e share su ya no chem say sabas is metromas transit limited ya won nkramupuni mantama say yo e na omo no mu di kasubo ma mutimi aboa e de 100 new buses e bebe piemu e wo oman Ghana se na etimi aboa ama fe omo omo nya ka ho akwanhia na afi su ka ho challenges bia na etimi aboa ma omo etimi akọ aba asumdwe mam oha biara etimi na etimi aboa ma fe su sika semeno etimeja na nanso eba no eyem yakoniaba ensemu am na ambra okasa osaso de toaso etudwa sem sa basisi ya de betima bo apai na yehwe ne features mi kwampo nam basisi ya de e wo charging system yi na e wo basisi mu a air condition suom comfortable seat ni ade ya betimi aboa paye ma wo passenger na akwakotan kam no etimi aboa ma won so no feel relax why you comfortable se wo fa sa basisi mu bia o matimi ede be piem wo o man Ghana o chem se betimi aboa paye ma wo ampomuden scrampo no etimi agina so sa wo tena basa seat no moto crampo na wan kasa no ti wo honam timi sisi wo so se yewu what na bas mu ne sent no chem se basisi ede betimi aboa paye ma challenges yenyam e wo cars wina no etimi abrasem his excellency Jane na Ajiman Opoku.
This initiative aligns closely with His Excellency's reset agenda, which seeks to improve infrastructure, create jobs, and stimulate economic activity, and deliver practical solutions to problems. These buses will be deployed to support night operations, shift workers, and late-night economic activity in our urban areas. Safety will be prioritized, and routes will be designed around demand data and feedback to mark and the management and staff of MMTL. Where are you? For your part in this process. Well done. I'm sure they want to rise for recognition. Do you want to do that? So we know who you are. and I have no doubt that you will rise to the occasion. Please maintain these buses well. Eliminate waste and leakages. The public deserves our respect. Please serve the public with courtesy and efficiency. The government will continue to invest in public transport, which is an investment in all our sectors: productivity, safety, and social equity. When investment is matched with discipline, accountability, and a culture of service and maintenance, the returns are very high. May the buses move safely, serve diligently.
Nipa yati nenken Professor Jenana Opoku Ajima, Her Excellency, Ono and Vice President, Edema Oman Konkongana. Now, swam, Swafon, so Oshe, your transport system, no, so Onomian for Joseph Bukari, also the Sembi to Jaya, which says, I new buses here, Adia Bay, the Adabet Buapa, Yema Fensono, Ashan Tiahudona, Yetiano, it's Amber, the Subetis and Sabas, Yadia Bay, the young Concojo, boy, as I said, Omoju Lebia, Fiano, El Costa, say, 5 cities, San new buses here, but do more Modeko fruit be the end chance to say who ya bet me aboapa ma won so watimi akipisika ya o chem say sa we de bet me aboapa in the sentinel Ghana for na afi so ankwankwa na na yenka bakumomu ne ntime mboa na ye fe yen patronize se de bet me aboa ma afi so konya ba won sam etimi eja na so papa na osan so to aso chem say or the two years stakeholder na afi so management na anim say obi biara obetimi aboa ya obetimi di sikasem no etimi atoto yem na etimi aboa ma afi so monya basis ahodo bebre na etimi be pim o manga na etimi aboa e ma akonya bansam no etime jana so kebetima ba paayim anso a osanso to aso echemu se oboye president his excellency John Dramani Mahama Abasom se ode eye san hihye yetimi aba ye bete Ghana form burden so banom eye ahyanfro na afi so ahyentuadwe boyam otem se president John Dramani Mahama no suade hunam ede mo so betimi ahwa aboa mani na etimi akonem na etimi aboa ema oman kebina min kebina afi so ni suade hunna no etimi ajana so NDC amayoko omamamboyi emu.
STC is also part of the Ministry of Transport, and the Ayalolo is with the local government responsible for intra-city transport. All these agencies are doing well, and very soon we'll be commissioning buses from one agency to another, and again, not only the road transport services, the other transport areas, the rail, the maritime, and the aviation side, you will soon be seeing government of Ghana commissioning various transport activities. This is the only way we can serve our people, and this is the way His Excellency the President wants the economy to be run. Madam Vice President, we remember when you visited us in those hard days. You tapped at our backs and said, "Gentlemen, you can do it. We are behind you. We are giving you the guidance, and the pledge you gave to us has materialized, and today we can see 100 buses before us. We are grateful to you. It is our prayer that your coming today will facilitate the rest of the 200, and after that we'll be seeing them in thousands, not in hundreds. We believe that the government determination to ensure that we run a transport system that takes care of our needs would actually be rolled out, and that we'll be able to connect all our traders to their market centers, we'll be able to connect all our workers to their workplaces, we'll be able to connect our students to their schools, and we'll be able to serve the tourism industry to be able to get to the tourist sites and take some pleasure off their site work schedules. Madam Vice President, the commissioning of these 100 Isuzu buses is just a beginning of a long journey that the Ministry of Transport, and for that matter, the Metro Mass has to do or has to undertake internal restructuring, ensuring that our workers are well catered for to be able to put in their best, and the drivers will be able to turn around these 100 buses to make more buses after a short period of about 2 to 3 years. We would not like a situation where you are given 100 buses and you yourself cannot work internally to bring in more 100 or 200, but wait for government to look for private partnership to bring you 100 at all times. We want to witness a situation where you yourselves will be able, from your internal generated funds, be able to add on to whatever that you have today. That is why we are throwing the challenge to you. And let us understand that you have the capabilities to turn things around. And we are proud of your hard work, and will continue to collaborate with you. We'll continue to give the guidance, and we'll
The person in Kenya, Minister for Transformation, for Joseph Bukari Nipe, ono nanu dinsem ena yede to ejado. Ya to so de kokopiemu e wo mrahye bedwefia me no ka se de dia parliamentarians no o ma resume aye omudwumede ya omudi e wo mrahye bedwefia ya me no ka se de ya do monem aye semchofo edi inkomo ya Manchester Parliamentary Press Corps ye 2010 PCC no na embra o ne semchofo edi inhiemu ya o mokasa ya no mu chemu sem aye bills awodo bebre na aye do monim se so mo hwere mo pass na be ye law no aye do mo bi hwe nim se wo bra masan so resume de aye do be hwe no ma pass sa laws ni etimi aboam ma o man kebina min kebi amambo no etimi eja nanso na embra mo kasa no ena onomiafo anase majority leader ye o mrahye bedwefiem onomiafo hona Mahama Yariga de ensembi etudwa ye ochemu se eba no te se eye LGBTQ ho nsensem na edo mehwe aboa na se amnimanim nye yo metimi aka ho ensembi a mahwe no maka ho asem sa mere so asanso ditu edwasem eba no eye human rights value cause nzimbia nso na omo so mo hwe ato adwene apenipo masibrem netimi aboa ma afen so ensema wodo bebe na ehye kukwam ni twontwom nyina no omo timi ahwe aboa eye fo na ese no mo de ba embrem no omo timi ade aba embremum na mbra okasa de tudwasem eye parliamentarians na obi ambo no modern no mfa ho hyem wobra omo kokodin kita ho ewo eye mrahye bedwefie no eba no se eba na asase ho nsemsem am obi ambo modern so de no be hyem bi netimi aboa ema eye law e so mo pass eba no asase ho nsensem e okoso ye wo man garan kopie mo wo kaso kopede nya asem kito langa si andra me be somum se manfo e bire manfo e ni sent no so mo hwe na ko betimi aboa mama pass law be betimi aboa ma fe so sa tutra asem ekoso e wo important beba ne nsase ho nsem nyina nam mbehwe aboa maka wa asem netimi aboa ma bibia etimi ejan nan so onomiafo Mahama Yariga ye mehwe bedwani o de ensemi sei etu eja.
A very loaded session. Loaded because we have many bills that are outstanding that we couldn't finish in the last session. And then there are new bills that the ministers are proposing to bring. They are being processed, some through cabinet, some have gotten their cabinet approvals, others are still working through the processes in cabinet to get their various approvals before they come. So I'll just mention them briefly to give an indication of the type of issues that we'll be dealing with in this meeting. So for the Minister of Defense, we have the National Defense University Bill. For the Minister of the Interior, we have the Community Service Bill. Let me explain the delay in the human what's it called? I don't want to call it anti-LGBTQ. Is that okay? It's a human sexual and family values bill. Now, that bill, there are some MPs that think that some of the penalties should include something like community service for some of the categories of the offenses. Beyond that, we have a bigger problem of congested prisons. Sometimes for offenses that really should not send somebody to prison for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Somebody steals a fowl. I mean, and then you go to prison for 5 years, and we spend more money feeding you than the cost of the fowl. You know, we spend more money paying prison officers to work over you than the cost of the fowl. And by the time you come out, a young boy goes to steal a fowl, he's sent into prison for a year or two. By the time he comes out, he's a well-prepared criminal because of the conditions in prison. So instead of reforming, he rather just decides to specialize in life of crime because he's seen it, and so it no longer deters him to go to prison. So the Minister for Interior wants to bring the Community Service Bill so that for some category of offenses, we can rather impose community service as part of the penalties instead of imprisonment. So
the betting in Kenya, Odomyafo, Mahama Yarga, Onukrano, and a Dom Casan Banu Denny, Nene, and a Yokoti, and Answam, Dom Keton Banu Denny, Abedi, Chebeche, Deputy Minority Leader, Odomyafo Patricia PG, and so adding Sembi to jam, Ya no Ojemu, Eddie Ama, Odomyafo Alexander, after your marking, so Chemusem. So Bashan said there, Oko Piemo, our NDC, just some Jube de Mudima A, and it's NPP from Kasaka Cabra, Casana, and Fire Pay. Then this Rabbi Chamu Koja and Rabban Sadam, and Walcry, the center of the Nanudin Sembisus and so to jam. Ya Ochemi says, Yam, I am Rashabe for Massaso Abaquas, it's Nabi medium. Almost stress a banner say, Mokotras, almost Quasitanam. NPP, Namayo Code, and their affairs to NPP, a parliamentarians to be on home, but so baby PML Hormona and Seven Huiano, Omashe Timia Canasa to trust them young, on those soon say NDC for Omo AD, Timia Buam, Amakasimo Manina, Etimia Brasnam, Uchemusem, a banner sana at the Aya GD Pam, about Toya, a buying nothing so to my memory and the Timia Buam, Makabia Kebia Memono, Etimi Ejan Nasom, or the Sansa Wina, Etuja, or Brand some trophy no Mudin Shimu, or Brow, Omakobi, a set for Frokra, Yamonde and CBC, Etu Ija.
On to the key national issues. We'll look at the cost of living and inflation. While inflation has dropped to single digits, and ordinarily, Ghanaian families are yet to feel tangible relief in their daily lives. The minority will continue to for policies that will translate macroeconomic gains into real improvements in household incomes, market prices, and standard of living. Employment of youth empowerment. Ghana's youth unemployment rate stands at an alarming 34.4%, and it is unacceptable by any standard. The minority will hammer on this relentless in the coming months. Where are the jobs? NDC's employment programs, Ajuma National Apprenticeship, and others have yielded scant tangible outcomes. Contrast this with the MPP's 1D, 1F initiative, which created real, verifiable jobs. The minority supports the fast tracking of the National Apprenticeship Program, the free TVET training, and calls for bipartisan cooperation to treat youth unemployment as a national security priority. Then we'll look at the public sector reforms and service delivery. We'll handle education, delayed feeding grants in certain secondary schools, and persistent shortages of teaching materials undermine quality education. Health. While a medical trust fund was created, fundamental issues, NHIS arrears, and occasional drug shortages in public facilities have not been resolved. The minority welcomes genuine efforts
The person in Kenya, Patricia Appiaje, or no, and a Jemwed minority nom, ya or Casa Eddie HM say. As a Siena, a parliament, Bako Assistant, also we no motion on Bois, na a members of parliament in the meeting PM or Honor Banner say, Mu Dinkitan would be at Miabuam, and to trust myself, you know, say NDC for Mud Edino, your multi NPP for no, or my name Kasiebo, myself to trust them, Nina Abere, as in Tenene, and I equity yenom. Sambre mino kase wako piemu ewo drobo na nanumat na kunja mino kase de wako piemu ewo honma mpempren de police for de aye ntemtwe nkrata bia babonte yo muchem so ko piemu ewo bono regional police commander mino kase de aye de tutrasem bi ekoso ewo aye drobo traditional council mino kase de na na tano be dia akoya ono ye kontihene de ma drobo traditional council no de nsemi kokodan aye police for ewo aye kotoni mabusumi ya ne de to so dunkro wa fempem nim na edu se be ye nonkron abo apem ni mo na chesem audience be kokoda police for yo chemisem enipa ko bi ya chese o mo ho mo nke bi nse mo butom asaram yo mo ye nipa maku 15 ne che dunum yo mo betom so asaram e wo drabo traditional council ma himfi o pe yo mo hyem eye che kokko na fe so ma o makata mo hu na e no mo ba de e no mo gate ye mo fem ediko pie mo e wa himfi te so mo sese di na che so mo dwen ho am o mo ntia se na sentina ya dom tromika ediko pie mo e wo eye drabo eye anase bono regional police command for omakache ya chesem omkoto police for no mo so mo si de bi o mo ntia sa asem we sansem etiambra no yo mo so mo katsem na bra ebusa fon fanchem na embra ya police form do mo na etia sa asem ya do mo chemisem ya mo kokopie mo e wo crime scene ho no mo chemisem mo kokotom eye 3 pump action guns ya teso mo loading with 40 rounds of BB ammunition etu aboba nko ya tesem no ka se do mo chemen kan de mo kokot se ahimfi ho no mo ya me ya dom fofie eto atan we di anko kodwale abam ya teso mo kokopie su a ya me ya dom no ka se de tihwem mapa etimi koso na etimi aboam e ma se tutra seminar no etimi egina ne nan so anase mo timi ahwe yi nhwehwemum mo yi afi ho no mom sanse we na aya de anana anase konti hene ya ono owo bonom nana matena kondwa drobo ode bebe tuje yo chemisem hwehwem mapa koso ya me no ka se de police fon so obom modin bia etimi abua na sa ntutra seminar no etimi afi ho no mom anso wa osanso ya kire mu sem kwemada ya ono ewo drobo traditional council onso na yimfi onso no adem so kokopie mo ho no mu bia mu temu se tutra semi so de kokopie mo ho no mate se enso ni kra ni sentino omo se IGP na afenso so Ghana mpanifo metimi ahwe aboam pepepe na afenso aso de kokopie mo ewo drobo traditional council no manimi na no omo timi hwe emmoam na bibia entimi enja de na so ayesa de am yenim na bebesi am yadom ochina ni sentino omo se bono traditional na afenso bono regional police command so muntimi mbuam na afenso no hwehwemu apantimi koso no omo bedi se tutra semi na nhwem na mfa mo bebegina embra enim ya chese konti hene ya oho no mo de sansebi na de beto ye Kasiebo enim ahwe aha na brema kwan amayede yenu mmienu nsia Kasiebo de basumi na edi esi yemfase da PSC enkoma me producers na fenso me editor mo bo machidom Oguso anafenso Emmanuel Anan ono so na hwe tenente fidie no na mama obi okrunche Kasiebo ina edbra ye berema tenten gramo onada Roma ene de ya Kasiebo bi akenkan ede amama munsumba team na mama so me de bade sede kakra to Ghana ofo ni titu kopiemu ewo enkran ni titru na ye Kingsway nipa obwa peso ho de nya sanko de say there's a new metro mass bus here vice president his excellency her excellency Jenana Opoku Ajiman or the abane de ommo di antwo ni hwe na ene eka kiti inka Kasiebo nkemba so na don pom obwa peso ni nya sanko to Kakum yajino kwakwanum sansemi na ene da basum yeso su de that is sports is upness aso in this year Kweku Yopoo me and ambedi Kasiebo wu chiame ede emam yam yadoma echena be sanso atime enka ebiem yamammo anitia adeshe